clean this up. I left it the way I just left it from earlier. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I'm your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker. Oh, man. Hold on, I got a message. Hold on. Oh, bath bombs. She needs a bath bomb. Hold on. We need a bath bomb. Hold on. I heard you. Hold on. Here it comes to save the day. Here you go. Welcome to that. Sorry, that was rude, but, you know, it's real. I have kids. I have a life. Everybody's comes first in the chain of command, and she was in the bathtub, and baptisms are important. When I was screaming at her to get in the bath. Was I screaming? Not about that, but I just had to get in her face about some other bullshit. Anyways, going back to that. What's up, everyone? I'm the High Priestess Phoenix. I'm here to deliver messages from God and all their beings and da-da-da-da. In order to keep up with me, I have to catch a video before this. What did I talk about? Oh, God. Like always. What was before that? God. 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 Oh, God. Oh, God. Which God? Lots of them, dude. Lots of different God. There's lots of them. So what kind of God are we talking about today? We're going to talk about the aliens that he created and how they work with us. You're like, what? I can make it make sense in a minute. If you give me a minute, I can explain a little something. I'm Isis. I was Lilith. I was Isis. Saradwin, Kalik, Medusa, Hecate, Persephone, Kanyan, Bridge. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many. But let's just worry about Isis, because today's my day. It's always my day. But we're going to worry about that, because that'll make it make sense a little bit. In order to understand that card, you're going to have to catch my first reading. We're celebrating our salvation, obviously, but it's the day of the gods. We're actually in the Isis energy, and as I bring this to the table, it'll make more sense. So we're going to pick up exactly where I left off. If you want to know where we are in this book, you're going to have to go through my videos and look for anyone that says Pleiadians. Okay? They don't come too often, every week, 2 weeks, because it's a heavy energy they pump through my back, and I have to, you know what I mean? It has to... I don't know how to describe it, but I can't speak for them all the time. It's just not that regular. It's very irregular. So, usually around full moons, probably, I guess now that I'm saying it, probably a full moon and new moon is usually when you'll catch them coming through. There's always, that's it. You know, I'll learn a lot of the patterns later, but, you know, I'm trying to put together the book of life for you and let you understand that these are the wheels, how the wheels on this bus turn, but I don't know all the mechanisms. So going back to it, you know, it'll be the same time this time next year, so pay attention. Write it down on your 2025 calendar. Alright, so this is where we're at. I'm just going to pick up I Don't Know at the top of right here, because where else am I supposed to start? I don't know. We were talking about the Pleiadians, and what they are is they're archangelic tribes that represent certain color codes, and they work with humanity in different. So let's see, I'm just going to pick up right here. The list of specialities of the Pleiadian archangelic tribes and the Pleiadian emissaries of light has barely been touched upon, yet I have given you the general sense of the vast range of these expertise and dedication. The psychic surgeons and healers are the other members of the Pleiadian emissaries of light, who I am privileged to work with. Okay, stop right there. Any person out there saying they're a light worker must work with the light. Now, I'm going back to one of my tarot readers, Egyptian Seer something. She starts her whole intro is, all ancestors of the light, you may stay. All ancestors of the dark, you must leave. So she stays in the light and she calls upon the light. So she works with the light. Okay, but in essence, to be a light worker and to get the transmissions and the downloads, you must understand, even me, Isis, I'm going to explain this. They came from us. You know what I mean? It was always a oneness. It wasn't inside of us. It was given to us. That's how we were connected. You know what I mean? You can look into it all you want. The Egyptians knew. There's this big movement called Gaia. It's on YouTube. They're always trying to sell subscriptions to it, and it's actual channel where they have tapped into the science of religion, of energy, of all of this. I'm the key. I hold the keys to the kingdom, literally. From Isis? No, from Lilith. From the beginning of time, I've always kept the keys. I am the serpent that runs through the tree of life. I know it all. All right. Anyways, going back to it. So I just want to point that out, is if you have somebody saying that they are a light worker, you ask them what form of the light do they work for. And I can explain that to many people, but it's part of it. I have to tell you, I am a light worker, a starseed, meaning I work with the stars and the beings of the stars. I work with the light force. And there's a galactic federation of light force that works together with all beings. So you better pull their card and find out who they work for. Come here, Mr. MIB. Let me see this. Mr. Men in Black, where's your card? Let me see your credentials. Let me see your green card. Truthfully. You start pulling cards, dude. Start pulling the fucking expertise. Don't let people come out here and tell you there's something they're not. Before I came out here, everybody was a high priestess. Everybody was a fucking empress. Everybody was a fucking queen. Everybody was a fucking tarot reader. Everybody was a fucking Christian. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and I'm out. Kind of how I roll. And that's it. It's like, no, you thought you was, but you ain't. You're much more than that when you get back to your, getting out of that. Okay? Okay. The psychic surgeons and the healers are other members of the Pleiadian emissaries of light with whom I'm privileged to work with. They are not Pleiadian archangels, my shortened name for these Pleiadian angelic tribes of the light, but they do work closely with them. Loosely speaking, the Pleiadian archangels are their instructors who delegate to them what it is to be done. There's a whole chain of command. I can show you it. I didn't bring out all my books, but you know what I mean? As far as your angels, bottom of the totem pole. Archangels, barely right there. They have to answer to the virtues. They have to answer to the powers. They have to answer to the thrones, who answers to the seraphim, who answers to the creator of all things. Your angels are at the bottom of the pole, dude. They got to listen to everybody else through God before they can even do anything for you. Don't play. Don't play, bro. That means you've got to go through the powers that be, the virtues, everything to get your message to God. And vice versa. He's got to send it through all of them to get to you. He's trying to. We on Earth have a higher council of 12 that oversees everything in our solar system. The Pleiadian archangelic tribes of the light serve the function in the Pleiades. As we have angels, guides, ascending masters, and teachers working under our higher council of 12, likewise, and that's it, why I always said there's always 12. I'm here with 12 plus 2. A couple nuts and bolts. That means I have 12 twin flames. I've said this since the beginning. And she had upon her a crown with 12 stars. I think that, whatever. And that's what they were trying to describe. The stories were told, you just know what the scribes said. The lost scribes of the Dead Sea. And Lilith was casted into the Dead Sea. Come here, let me tell you what that says. Likewise, the Pleiadians have many groups serving the Pleiadian archangels. These archangels are, in turn, a broader base supreme being they serve, just as our higher council does. These hierarchies are not just one of masters and servers in sense of some being better than and some less than. Something you must understand. Jesus sits at the highest throne, but he's not to be dethroned, but in the sense of the virtues, he plays his role. We all have our part in this, and all parts must be working in consideration, and that's Odin in the 9 realms. You have to, you know what I mean? There's perfect oneness in the chaos. Is really how it works. Okay, going back to it. Nobody's better than or some less than. The structure is simply based on a particular essential nature of all beings who, when reach certain levels of evolution, deeply desire to give to and serve others. From what I have been given to understand, this desire is based on divine love that is beyond most humans' ability to comprehend. It is also motivated by the same thing that keeps us growing, and that's it. You might not be the person, but me and my 12, we sat at a table and decided we were going to do this, and we were going to win. We were going to save humanity. We sat there and we made it. We colored it down with a little fucking, you know, with our favorite color crown, and we signed our name in the blood of Jesus, and we came to do the work. And we are, I promise you, I've seen it. We walk in our black, and the white looks to us, and it's all beautiful, bro. We never had to conform to the light. They needed our darkness. These are the dark days, and they called for us. The desire for an end to separation and to be one with the God, goddess, and all that is. These higher beings long to be fully one with us again. And that goes back to the rainbow children, the native belief that people from all, you know, walks of life would incarnate at this time. And that's why I'm telling you, there's angels, there's demons, there's all kinds of beings that are created. You must walk in the human form to be part of the human being experience. But not all of, you know what I mean? That's just the form. We aren't just human. It's just the car we ride. It's the capsule that holds us in here. What's inside? All of us are different. What's inside of me? God's divine feminine energy that he created, the first one ever. The one that lies within everything. You know what I mean? That's what lies in here. You know what I mean? Who lies inside Russ? That's Lucifer. That's God's dark angel. I promise. But what is he now? Nothing more than human. We're nothing more than human. What was Jesus before he was Yeshua of Nazareth? Before he became the Savior, Christ. What is it? Why can't you open the door? It's not jammed. You just don't know how to jam on it. Come on. God who gives you strength, buddy. God who gives you strength. Anyways, so going back to it is we're not just the flesh. We're having a flesh experience, bro. But not all of us are, and that's what I mean. Who are you? What are you? Where did you come from? What were you made up of? My mother and father? No, come on, dude. Shut up. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Anyways, going back to it. The Archangel tribe names are Ra, An-Ra, Maya, and Ptah. May be familiar as you know they're frequently used in ancient Egypt, especially for royalty. The Egyptians were more advanced spiritually in ancient times than they are currently. The Pleiadians, including the archangelic tribes, were commonly in communication with the ancient Egyptians, who were able to respond to them during their heighten of spiritual advancement. The Pleiadians taught them much of the spiritual knowledge, healing practices, development of full sensory perception, and understanding of Earth's purpose within the solar system, galaxies, and far beyond. Ancient Egypt. And that's it. Our God, we were gods, but we looked to another God. And so as we looked upon, we were given gods outside of us. There's always something that has to guide us. So that's what it was. You would say to us, they were the gods. But yet we were the gods. It's just how it works. And that's what I'm trying to say. All of them were God, but gods of their own. God gave them the power to be God. The power to be God lies within you. Okay? Let's see. Now, don't lose me, because the next part says Christ consciousness, Christ connection. Stay with me. It all is together. Christ is still at the center table. Many Pleiadians took on human bodies in ancient Egypt, while others worked in higher dimensions. And that's what I meant. How did I know everything? Because I wasn't of this world. While others worked in higher dimensions with the dreamers, seers, and healers, priests and priestesses, and even royalty. Their common purpose were the overall evolution of the planet and the human race, and to store enough higher knowledge here on Earth so that when the time came for the Great Awakening, what would be needed would be here. And that's what I tell you. We're looking for the messages they left for us. They left us the clues. They left us the keys. They left us, you know what I mean? In the sense of, we have to be reawoken. We've lost our knowing. We have to be reactivated to what we already knew. It's all hidden here. That's those activation points. Bobby reminded me. All of them woke me up. Everything wakes you up more and more and more. You're waking up to you more and more. There's all of these ascension moments where you've hit a moment where now you're awoken again and you know more of what you knew. You've overcome your karma and now you've been restored. None of this will happen until you start breaking your karma, guys. You can't get into your Akashic records. You can't know who you are until you start living in your feelings, because that's who you are. You've carried these feelings with you. That's who you are, is the feeling inside of you. If you can't start standing up for your feelings, you'll never know who you really are. Of course, Egypt was not the only civilization to receive such gifts. The Pleiadians, Christ connection, and purpose. While under hypnosis once, I recalled a Mayan past life in 10 BC. And that's where I shared to you too. I pulled the Mayan card and they activated me back into my family tree. It took me 2 days to figure it all out. And I found out that I stemmed from the religious, from the Spaniards that were part of the religious crusades. I found out that, you know what I mean? And then in essence, what am I doing? I'm breaking the curse, the family curse. You cursed the Christians. You cursed under God's name. You killed people under Jesus' name. You killed tribes. You killed everyone under Jesus' name. I'm here to save everyone under Jesus' name. I'm going to set us all free. Do you understand? I had to be born into this body to fulfill my role. But in essence, what am I doing? I'm saving those that came before me that I didn't even know. Those that were attached to this skin. Those that were, that carried these wounds. I'm saving everybody by just saving myself. How do I do this? Every day I work on my feelings. That's all you're being asked to do. And if you just sit with me and work with me, I'll get you back to it all too. The work is never done. Because there's so much to feel. So past lifetime in 10 BC, in which there was a large gathering at the Mayan tribes to celebrate the completion of the largest pyramid ever built by their culture at the time. It was an extremely tall structure that had an opening in the upper chamber as well as an entry at the base. The striking thing about the pyramid was that it was constructed of white granite type of rocks with large veins of gold, so much gold that it looked marbleized with the large glimmer streaks through it. As the Maya were beginning their ceremony and celebration, a transparent gateway with clear crystalline steps opened in the air just above the top of the pyramid. A group of Pleiadian archangels filed out and began to congratulate the people on their structure feet and share with them the true purpose. And that's why they built those. That's why the Egyptians built that. And you got to go back to Gaia. The Egyptians understood that they could use music to change gravity. The Egyptians understood. I'm trying to teach you, but none of that matters if I can't get you to work with your feelings. There's so much I can teach you, and there's so much I need to reawaken. The temple itself was a higher dimensional gateway and ascension chamber. They were all overjoyed to see our beloved Pleiadian friends who had long been spiritual teachers and guardians for our people. And that's it. You would see them in your mind. You would see, something would come to you, and then you knew. How do you know? You'd get this feeling. Something has come over me and given me a vision. Now this thing, this alien, is standing in front of me, and I feel that feeling I had when I was creating. It was you. It was always you. You were there. Do they speak? No. They speak in your heart. And that's how you know it was you. You've always been here. It happens with your spirit guides too, Marilyn Monroe, when I pulled her card, I was like, wow, you're here. I've always been here, my dear. And then I had to look back. Oh my God, I was singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President, and all this stuff. You have always been here. When I was like, guys, why is Eazy-E here? Does anybody know why Eazy-E's here? Where's Eazy-E come from? And then they're like, what are you talking about? You've been singing my words since the beginning. Like, oh my God, you always have been here. Yeah, they've been here. So when the Pleiades instructed us to go to the pyramid, we did so without hesitation. After we were all inside, I saw a spiraling ramp that went all the way up to the window-like opening near the top. Soon after, the sun began to shine through the opening until it lit up the interior of the pyramid, which gleamed golden. As the sun entered, it exactly illuminated the ramp, which became overlightened with a scarlet red, writhing ethereal. What is this word? Quetzalcoatl? I'm not sure. I'll let you see it. Quetzalcoatl? I don't know. Quetzalcoatl? The feathering serpent deity. Okay. In its belly was the face of Christ, who said, now you will know me. It's funny because I see the Archangel Cherubim card that I have. Maybe I can pull it. And they make it look friendly. They tried to come to you in a friendly face, but at the same time. So listen to how they described it. Now go back to your understandings of how they described, revelations. Listen to how it says. It said, sun, open the sun ramp. Okay, the Quetzalcoatl, I don't know. A feathered serpent deity. Its belly was the face of Christ, who said, now you will know me. The Pleiadian archangels explained to us that Christ would be born in a few years, and that we would know the timing of his birth by the appearance of the great new star in the sky. Christ was always proclaimed to everyone, bro. They knew he was coming. We're talking about 10 BC, the Mayans. We knew he was coming, and it was always proclaimed since Genesis. The Savior will come. All right. Explain to us that Christ would be born only a few years, and that we would know the timing of his birth by the appearance of the great new star in the sky. They further explained his role on earth as a representative of the collective cosmic Christ, and told about the 144,000 chosen ones. That's another thing. These people saying, tarot readers, the chosen ones. You're not chosen. You can't. You don't have any of this. How can you be a chosen one of God and not have God's patriotic gifts? You're lying. You're lying. And to be chosen just means to be the worker of God. From that collective, who would be the minimum number to be awoken during this lifetime through meeting him. Have you met Christ? She did. I did. Most of us have. Like, he literally came up and talked to us. What did we talk about? His underwear? No, not really. That was a really good joke. I mean, we talk all the time, but that's when he came up and, all right, let's have a talk. Let me talk your language. Let me talk to your people. It was a great talk. It sounds funny, but he was trying to show that you guys believe everything they told you, and that's not true. That's where it came from. And yeah, they're not just pictures. They're people. They speak to and through us, and always have been with us. And that's what I told you. The 144,000 are the leaders. We lead the awakening. You know what I mean? I teach the 144,000 how to master their skills, and then they set out. But again, it's me and my 12. My 12 spread. You know what I mean? Do the numbers. Break down the numbers. It's a sequency. E equals MC squared. Right? See, right over there, Benjamin Franklin? He's just trying to beat fucking some Roblox. From that collective, who would be the minimum number to be awoken during his lifetime through meeting him, to prepare Earth vibrantly for the Christ birth. Many of the 144,000 who were on Earth at the time would either die consciously or ascend. This was to take place beginning that day and continue until his birth. At that point, many of us began to levitate. We became lighter and lighter until we literally vanished to third-dimensional eyes and ascended. As Christ said, I go to prepare a place for you. He disappeared through the upper chamber opening, still in the belly of the sacred feathered serpent. Those of us who ascended at the time followed him through the opening, joining him inside the belly of the, here it goes again, Quetzalcoatl. I don't know. We got to put this in Google and find out how to pronounce it. The next scene took place in the halls of the fifth dimension. That's it, from the 5D and above. Have you been there? Have you been there? The fifth dimensional city of light, where the 144,000 plus Christ were gathered, each appearing as we would in our next incarnation. We were reviewing and planning the events to come in preparation for them. Guys, do you remember us being there? 12? Do you remember I came to you in the beginning? I saw it all. We were there. We signed up for this. We said we were going to do this. I know you were never going to get it, but I'm trying to still wake you. We're told that a similar appearance of Pleiadian archangels and the Christ took place in power spots all over the world. Machu Picchu, Glastonbury, Hawaii, Greece, Egypt, Africa, and Tibet. The chosen ones had been gathered from all of these cultures and brought together prior to being reborn into our lives with Christ. I gotta get the book. I knew it was gonna come up. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me, my child. Sorry, alright, just stare at Carmen. That's me too. I knew this was gonna happen. Why did I put it away? I was reading it today, the Archangels. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. It was the Lumerians. That's the last thing I need right now, Lumerians. And that's Hawaii. Lumerians. They planted it everywhere. They're called Earth Star Chakras, dude. I told you, I've got to travel. I've got to activate these spots. I've got to go there. I said that before. I've got to go to the top of the mine. I've got to do the ritual. I've got to do a blood sacrifice and open that fucking portal. Alright, so going back to it. What are they talking about? It's at the end. It's at the end. It's part of Christ. It's part of the rainbow ray. It's the unified chakra, universal field of oneness, understanding your true universal essence, clarity, perfection, completion, wholeness, complete connection with everything. All right? Now, he starts it. Christelle, peace. But, sorry, this is what they're talking about, us, the rainbow children. Let me tell you more about this. The angel of purity and purification, like her image in the card, Teriel embodies all colors of rainbow perfectly blended to create the white light of the divine. The pure light is your light, for we are all perfect sparks of the Creator. There is a Native American prophecy which says, when the earth is ravaged and animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come onto the earth from many colors, classes, creeds, and who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. They will be known as the warriors of the rainbow. Many high vibrational souls are incarnating at this time to assist with our ascension. The angels have shown me that certain old souls, myself, have chosen to go through multiple evolutionary cycles in this lifetime, shifting from indigo to crystal children into the rainbow and diamond souls in order to become keepers of the new earth rainbow diamond light frequency. Okay, so it starts with the rainbow, but then after the rainbow, you go into the diamond ray, which is unconditional love. You go back to the light with Sophia, the mother. Okay, you're back with the mother. That's me. Before I took that's me. I am the divine mother. Before I took the human form and I became the feelings of the dark. And then it's all about, once you're in the diamond, you're in the ascension. And now it is your responsibility, listen, to truly embody one's highest truth takes light and courage and strength. When you step into this role, you become aware that you have a responsibility, not just to yourself, but for all life. That's what happened. I couldn't go through the gates of heaven without coming back for you. So I had to do it all over again. I'm a master at this. As a Melchizedek soul, your task is to heal and integrate all of your lifetimes within this current lifetime and become one with your God self. To embody the divine human form is the highest level of spiritual attainment we can reach while here on earth. And I can feel my wings flapping right now. That's a beautiful feel. Yeah, so again, were these the same people? No. This is a woman that was talking to fucking aliens, and this is an oracle card deck that was talking to angels. Come on. Who are you talking to? What's in your pocket? That's what I heard. Okay, let's keep moving on. Let's see. The chosen ones had been gathered from all cultures and brought together prior to prior to being reborn into our lives with Christ. And we become the Christ consciousness for others. We show them how to become Christ-like. This event and its timing has been pre-planned long ago. We win. I just feel like it should have been done by now. During the channeling process, the Christ said that the term "the chosen ones" is a misinterpretation. It should be "the ones who choose." That's it. I told you. It says many are called, few are chosen. Everyone's called to duty. Few choose to do this work. Because this group consists of beings who chose long ago to give their service to Earth and her people by incarnating, forgetting who they were until certain points in their evolution. When did I wake up? 40 years old. And then becoming enlightened and Christed. And that's what I call this, a midlife Christness. This set the pattern of spiritual evolution for others to follow. That's me. Now, going back to our Lemurians. The day at Mount Shasta, approximately approximately 1.5 years prior to the hypnosis session, when I was first told about the Pleiadian Lightwork Intensive that I would be teaching, the Christ was so strongly present with the Pleiadians and Ra specifically that I realized there was a connection between them. Strangely enough, I had never made the association between them in my mind prior to that time. And that's the truth. I didn't know. I'm sitting here and I'm like, where did this come from in my back? What is this in my back? And they show me that this actually, you were abducted by aliens. Kobe was there, and this is what we needed to do because you couldn't get the downloads. What? God, what are you doing? I had recently noticed that when the Pleiadians were present, so was the Christ. But I had not realized that this was anything more than a coincidence. Here we go. I was being told previously that the dolphin brain reprogramming and the dolphin Starlink work were vital to the healing and preparations of our nervous system for the ever-increasing frequencies of the Pleiadian light work. Okay, well, I didn't get my dolphin brain repatterned, and when they tried to put it in my head, I went into almost a seizure. It's all documented. It happened around the new year. I tapped into them, and I'm literally in the light, and I'm dying, and I see Russ in there. So they couldn't give it to me this way. Go figure, my brain is fucked. My brain is fucked. Because of my childhood. They couldn't give it to me like they were supposed to. So I literally have a place right here where it comes in. I have my 7 chakras, but then they had to put something in between the heart and the throat to feed it to me. And that's what I mean. It comes in through my back. I can feel a crunch. I've documented it ever since it happened. I was like, what is this? And then they showed me the vision of me laying on that table and that night. Yeah. Oh, I just dropped my freaking feather. Did you see my cardinal feather? Isn't it pretty? Beautiful. And then my son got another one right after. What is that? The blue jay. Did you see the blue in it? Oh, shit. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. And then before that, all this happened today. I got the dove feather, too. All 3 of them. See that? Now you see the blue. God speaks. Go look at what the feathers mean. They're messages from the divine. That's how he gives you that's how he sends you stuff. Here, let's just put all of me here so you can understand that this is me. All of me. Not all of them. I've got most of them in. I told you I listed all of them that I have in me, but there's more to put in me. Alright, so going back to this, that's what I teach you. I don't know shit about no Starlink, dolphin, fucking... Did she call you on your dolphin phone? No, I don't know how to pick that up. We got to work through our brain. So I teach you what she taught. She was teaching this. She just learned this shit, and she was teaching science about dolphin. This is what she learned in her life until she got tapped in. She was already on a path until she awoken and realized that her work had something to do with spirituality and God. God who gave her this work. Mine, my music. Once I started doing my music, it all made sense. That's when my awakening, because I'm part of the choirs, I'm here to change music. I'm here to change the vibration. I'm here to speak to the musicians. I'm here to change all that. As soon as I stepped into my field, it was time to fucking, lace up. And that's what happened up there on Mother Cabrini Shrine. I'm standing next to a 30 fucking foot, I don't know how big it is. Maybe it's only 20 feet. That's what she said. Statue of Jesus. And he's saying, are you a singer or are you not? Are you a singer or are you not? Sing my Father's praises. Sing the word. And I sat there. I closed my eyes and I cried. And something put its arm on me. I remember that specifically. It was a beautiful thing. All right. Anyways, so going back to it, what are we all teaching you? All of us are trying to teach you to work through your mind and get back to your emotions. All different ways, shapes, and forms. We're all over the place teaching you. Sangaru's teaching you. The Silo's teaching you. I'm teaching you in the dark. Science is teaching you. Everyone's trying to teach you. We're all teaching and learning at the same time. We're reawakening. It's the Great Awakening. And I was aware that the Pleiadian Lightwork, specifically the Ka channels, the call channel aspect of the work was needed to help in the divine alignment with the embodiment of the higher self. But now the link with Christ was unmistakable as well. If we as humans, human population, are to make the quantum leap into Christ consciousness, many people will need very specific healing and opening to prepare for it. And that's what I can do. You know what I mean? She does it differently. She called it the Pleiadian Lightwork Intensive, which you'll go back. She uses her fingers, as I do, to align the chakras. She can put energetic fields from her fingers into your body to, again, like I said, she doesn't call it chakras. They call it the alignment of, energetic flow and shit. We just use different languages. We're all doing the same thing, trying to heal. And that goes back to moonlight guidance. You shit-ass tarot reader. You shit-ass tarot reader. You shit-ass tarot reader. God gave you the gift to heal and you're out here charging fucking hundreds and hundreds of dollars. They need you. They need you for free to help them. That's why people die, because they can't get to a doctor, because they can't get a kidney, because they can't afford it. If you don't have the right healthcare coverage, then you're going to die. If you didn't pay to play, you're going to die. That's why they go to the black market, to have somebody kill some child and give them something because they didn't have the right, you know what I mean? You can heal people, then we don't need people dying. Stop charging them. Help them. Sorry. I'm not there yet. I haven't reawoken all those powers. I know I can pray over you. I know what I can do. But she can do so much, and she's charging you so much for it. And then she bound earth angels. She put that work on people. She didn't even care. She just, give me it all, and I'm going to make lots of money off of this. You're going to pay for that. Your children are going to pay for that. What did you do? And that goes back to Albert Einstein over here. What did you do, bro? He's here to clean it up. Joan of Arc is here to clean it up. Lilith is here to clean up. We're all here to clean up everybody's messes and our own. We created a mess that you grew off of. To clear away the, let's see. And the sole purpose of Pleiadian Lightwork is to clear the way for the second coming of Christ in masses. Mayan, Egyptian, and Hopi prophecies, and perhaps other spiritual sources of which I am unaware, have foretold this time when we were to be awakened to the states of mastery, enlightenment, and then Christ consciousness, while still on earth in human bodies. Thank you, Pleiadians. Thank you for making it make sense for them, because it's so hard to teach them that you're here. Thank you for making it make sense for them. It's hard to do my job when I can't prove to you they're real. It's hard to show you God is real when, I can show you in other places, but when it comes to aliens, it's hard. When you speak of Christ, it's not hard. When you say that you honor the same God as me, you just didn't know, then it's not hard. Do you understand? And that's why that's why I am a pagan high priestess. Because they honor our God, they just don't know. I'm not here to make you a Christian. I'm trying to get you in the Christ consciousness like everyone else. It's just a conscious. You don't have to change skin. You don't have to. We're just going to be better people, bro. I want to stop there, but I also want to read this. The great and massive awakening is precisely what Jesus Christ came to prepare us for almost 2,000 years ago. Many avatars and enlightened masters through the ages and from many different cultures have attained the same level of consciousness as he did. I did. He did. They did. We were Christ-like. But we didn't know it didn't have a name until he showed us what we were. We're Christ-like. We're like the Savior Christ. We are God-like. And that's going back to Kali. Morgan was the goddess of love and war. You know what I mean? The goddess of, we stood for, it's an energy, guys. It's an energy that's inside of us. From many different cultures have attained the same level of consciousness as he did. However, this book focuses on Christ consciousness and the Pleiadian lightwork connection because they are specifically relevant to our time, as previously mentioned. In order to understand the purpose of Christ, we must also realize that Orthodox religions and censoring the Bible, which occurred around 150 years after his death, all but destroyed his true message. And that's what I teach you. God's church is in his word, but they've distorted his word. If you want a good example of this, go catch last Monday's reading where me and Mr. Plum fight in the name of Christ. We have a religious war in the name of Christ. And that's where all this happened. He was taught wrong. And I had to tell him that's wrong. And he can't, I'm like, feel it. Feel in your heart. They are all going. That's not true. It's not true. The Asians, the Africans, the Puerto Ricans, the Germans, the Russians, the people that we don't even know where you are. You're coming to heaven with us. Even if you've never read a Bible, you've got Christ inside of you. I'm going to show you. That's all he said. The Father lives within us. The heart. The Sacred Heart. That's what Mother Mary is known for, the Sacred Heart. They took the religion of Christ because it was too patriotic, to back to the blessing that God blessed a woman. He made a woman pure enough to birth a God. Do you understand that? He chose a woman to birth a God, as he always did. The gods, we were born of humans. And that's why it's so important for me to heal and birth God's new child. He wants his children for the church. He wants his new children born. I wasn't allowed to have children as Lilith. He cursed me to have children. But he wants me to birth it in the name of Christ. It's different. Very different. I had to just sit on that for you for a minute. And that's why I fight. I have to fight my fears to do what God says that I need to do. I have to believe. No matter what's been done to my body, he will make it new, and it'll birth miracles, the miracle that he wants. It's not going to be pain and suffering. It's going to be love and light this time. All right, let's see. However, the book focuses on Christ consciousness. Let's see. The religions and consorting of the Bible, which occurred about 150 years after his death, all but destroyed his true message. Yet we can still find glimpses of it even in the King James Version of the Bible. Be ye as perfect as I am, and you shall do ever great things than I have done, are unmistakable invitations to choose spiritual evolution, enlightenment, and ascension, and to let go of limitations on all levels. These messages are invitations to let go of the idea of a chosen few, and to realize that we are all chosen. It is up to us, each of us, to choose whether our answer is yes or no. And truthfully, he doesn't take no for an answer. He's going to keep trying to see that should I bring you there. I'm going to stop there because it starts with the Christ murder was a result of his defiance of government religion rule over the common people. And that's what happened to all of our great leaders. Why did they kill Lincoln? Because of his defiance of government and religious rule. Why did they kill Martin Luther King? Because of his defiance of government and religious rule. Why did they kill Princess Diana? Because of her defiance of government and religious rule. Why did they kill Marilyn Monroe? Because of her defilement of government and religious rule. Why did they kill, you know what I mean? You get killed for this. I'm the one that lives. You're not killing me. But, yeah, when you stand up for something, why did George Floyd die? Because he stood up by not standing up. You'll never fully understand that. It was in his flesh. He could have destroyed those black men, and they could have just shot him. He chose not to stand up. And by not standing up, he stood up for the world. All of our greats. Mother Cabrini stood up to her church. She never went back to there. She stayed in America, and South America, and Central America, to feed the children, to provide for the... In essence, this was white land, and they were militant to anybody that wasn't their skin. So she was known for the migrants. She looked out for the minorities. This was white land. The white man was destroying. We're talking, she came to Colorado during the gold rush. It was a slaughterhouse, bro. It didn't matter. They were killing whoever. No, you're going to take my shit. I'm going to kill you. Because you're going to... It was the Hunger Games. All for one and one. And, and that was it. All for one. And so, they would kill these... They're just killing each other. And then there's all these children left over. And she knew what they would do to the children. So she just kept going. She has a place that I can't wait to see. And, they built a shrine to her in Chicago. She was known for feeding the blacks and the Hispanics, the minorities. She did lots of missionary work, but not under the name of the Vatican. She stood up to government and to religion. She went back and she told that Pope what she discovered about the pagan kids and their belief in God. That Pope died miraculously 30 days after his fucking, 30 days after they said it was money and everything, but, that's it. When they try to stand in the power, you take a death note. And that's Bob Lazar. He tried to tell you about the aliens. They discredited everything about him. They said he was a lie. They said everything, you know what I mean? Whenever someone comes out to try to tell the truth, they've got to make us a lie, because then the truth is they're going to lose their power. And that's what Jesus did, is he took away the power of religion. And he gave it back to God, and he gave it back to us. You don't have to do what they say. You are free in Christ. It's a beautiful thing, and I know up until now most people didn't understand how all of this could be one. But it always was. You're the only one that's disconnected. And I never really share my videos with Mr. Plum. I've never ever tried to get him to watch one. But I want him to watch this one. When I leave, I'm going to send it to him. Because there was a lot here. He has to accept a lot about what I know. And he just has to accept it. He doesn't really fight me. But that day we fought. We fought about the church. We fought about what Christ said. He fought his church and I fought with my Christ. But ultimately he was fighting with his knowing of Christ. But he didn't know Christ like I know Christ. He knew the Bible. And that's what I tell you. The messages are true, but they distort them. And that goes back to the tarot readers. The messages are true. I can show you. They're pulling my cards. They're telling my story. But they're distorting them for their own self-gain. Thank you. I didn't know why we were bringing the Pleiadians, but I'm very glad. And it's only going to get better. I'm going to stop there because it goes on more to talk about the whole thing. His disciples, it talks about like Mary Magdalene. I'm not reading it, but I'm seeing words that pop out. You know what I mean? Mary Magdalene. It talks about the 12 years. It talks about everything. Here comes Melchizedek. Do you see? When I bought this book, I was ordered to get this book the Order of the Melchizedek, and the Revelations of the Aquarius, which is talking about artwork and how it activated. It was a picture of Mary Magdalene and Jesus' love that was set into a cathedral that activated over 6,000 people of a divine feminine awakening. Art. I'm not here to paint. I'm here to sing, and I can help those artists sing the praises of God to change the world. But anyways, it goes into this. So we'll end on this page. We'll start that, and then it talks about Ra. Ra speaks. Is this Ra an alien, or is this maybe the sun god Ra that, you know? But is the sun god Ra above Jesus' God, or all of us are part of God? You are too. All right. That was honestly really cool. And like I said, look at, they all come together in one day. All three of them. It's beautiful. I have lots of feathers. I do. They're my gifts. I'm going to make, again, a headdress like no other, given to me from Mount. It shows my ascension path. It's all documented. Everything that I do, I document. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I really wanted to do a spiritual growth spread. Maybe not 7 cards because I have the big book out. But isn't that great, right? I told you, everything is God. God's with you, bro. He keeps your head together. It's okay, he's seen you. He wants you to come home now. He wants you to use your powers for good and not evil. To teach others how you've seen how these powers have been used. So that they can become, you know what I mean? Like I teach, you know, protective magic and healing and stuff like that. We're not bad from what we did. I teach people how to get out of drugs and alcohol. I did drugs and alcohol. I teach people how to get out of a lot of things that I was part of. You're part of it only to teach others how to get out of it. Yeah, are you going to betray your religion and your governments? I guess. But what? For what? For the glory of God, for his protection, for his promises over your life? Those governments can't give you that. They can't give you a safe place to stay. Here. Energy. Oh, Jesus. I'm not even surprised. It just fell out. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, your teacher, a shaman, a seer. I'm an oracle. I'm your light worker. I'm your starseed. I'm an earth angel and demoness. I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. I'm very mystic. I'm a witch. I'm a messenger of God. I'm Lilith, Isis, Kuan Yin, Kali Ma, Morgan, Saradwin, Kalik. I am Bridge. I am Persephone. I am Medusa. I am the goddess, and there's more of me to come. I am Aichel. I'm many goddesses. I am Hecate. I am the goddess of the moon. But I'm also here in the flesh. I'm born of a man and a woman just like you. They named my skin Lisa. My skin's name is Lisa Ware. I was born in Denver, Colorado. Nothing real exciting. Until I gave my life over to God. Let's talk about the High Priestess. Again, High Priestess. What does it mean to be a priestess? It means to be a servant of God. But let's talk about it in the cards. That's what I mean, is when I came out here, I thought there was many people like me. No, you're not like me. What are you? Who are you? Where'd you come from? What are you made up of? Who made you? Oh, you're something to God. I don't know what you are. Alright. With a large book and an arcane knowledge under his arm, the fool ponders what the magician has explained to him about the application of his intellect. Then, as the moon arises, he comes upon the open-air temple in which a woman sits still and silent before the 2 pillars. They want me to show you my High Priestess. This is the original High Priestess card that should be in every tarot. I wear this. On top of this, I wear this. This lies on top of it, and those are those chains you hear. That's my frequency. You want to hear my frequency? The chains of hell. What is this? This is jade from the Jade Palace, but also a representation of my Egyptian. These two stick together. You'll always hear them. That's that noise you hear on me. That's my frequency. You can hear me coming. You can hear the chains of hell, as they say. All right. They just wanted me to show you. I make it very clear who I am when I walk. This one's right around my neck. I am the goddess of the moon, and I am a card reader. All of this, I make it very clear as to what I am when I step up. I'm not nothing that I'm not. And I don't try to be anything that I am not either. Okay, going back to it. Air temple, which a woman sits still and silent before two pillars, between which hangs a veil obscuring a dreamlike landscape. And that's what you need to understand. There's always the two pillars. And then this is the same landscape. It's always the same for the high priestess. It should be. You should be honoring that. We stand in the gateway of the veil. We hold the veil. We stand behind the veil in front of. And I make a very good description of that. I stand between the light and the dark. I stand in the great void. I'm all light. But absent of the light is nothing but darkness. It's just the void. Okay, he is struck by the contrast with the magician, who is concerned with action in the sunlight, while she seems passive under the moon. His lesson was about conscious will and the passing on of written knowledge, but the serene priestess has no scrolls or books, or rather seems to contemplate the mysteries of life itself. The great unknown that glimpses through the veil that separates us from the other worlds. I serve the Virgin Goddess, she tells him, the hidden power between creation. I am the vast, I'm going to say I instead of she, because this is who I am. I am the High Priestess. I am the vast ocean of potential, which is the thread of magic that flows throughout the universe, holding it all within, past, present, and future simultaneously. Only in silent retirement from the world will the voice of your soul be heard, and only when you listen to it will you discover your spiritual power. Your rational conscious mind is continually analyzing and questioning, weaving its own view of reality stitched together by beliefs and ideas. But know that spiritual insight springs from your subconscious. It's that quiet voice speaks a different language, communicating in symbols and metaphors. This can only happen when the chatter of the thinking mind is stilled. That's where I teach you how to work through your mind and to feel that. The communication of the symbols and the metaphors. And I just did a whole video before this of how you can hear God speak. The rational conscious mind of the magician is bright like the sun, while my intuitive unconscious mind is like the softer reflective light of the moon. Only when the sun sets does the moon rise, and when the sun rises, it totally overpowers the light of the moon. All right, here's our upright meaning. This card of the High Priestess card is of mystery and represents a link to the subconscious mind, the inner world of the self that cannot be accessed through the intellect or waking conscious, but which is only revealed in dreams and symbols. And that's what I mean. It doesn't make sense. You can't make it make sense because it's not of the mind. Your spirit is not of the mind. It's separate. It works with the mind. And that's why I keep telling you have to work with your heart. If you want to tap into your spirit, you've got to tap into your heart. Start following what it says and be brave. Your mind is going to scream and cry and throw fits and yell at people and all kinds of stuff. But follow your heart till you find you. You're in there, in those feelings. Not what you think, but what you feel. They're not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just things that it's seen. Its hidden work and shape is underlining personality and response of an individual, which becomes manifested in the everyday world. Now is not the time to act. I couldn't do nothing today, but to retreat, think, and meditate. You may find that your dreams and intuitions are very powerful at this time. The other world may be trying to break through with small signs, unexpected encounters that you should take note of. That was my feathers and my raccoon. And my bowl broke. My bowl broke. How many times have I told you guys that? Right before I leave, I say my bowl broke. Well, this time it wasn't a pipe because I have a metal pipe. But it happens. My glass bowl always breaks before I leave. And I sit there with it and I know it's time to go. It's broken. And that's why I sent that picture, because everybody else knows it broke. Her bowl broke. It's usually a glass bowl, and it's over. It's over. I've broken the ceiling, is what that means. It's just signs. You learn to see that this is what this means. When this broke, this means it's over. You've broken free again. When this feather came, this is what that meant. You know what I mean? Learn the signs that they're sending to you. The most simple things. Not logical. Alright? Let's see. The smallest signs and unexpected encounters that you should take note of. Your views are changing in your life with them. You are about to undergo a new level of enlightenment and spiritual development. I am. I have to go. I'm descending. I'm about to put on all kinds of gifts before they put me back in the ground. But again, they're not. They don't want me in the Matrix. Look, they're like, you're going to Denver, but you're not going in that. You're not living in the Matrix. You're going to go find a place outside of it. And you can go in and get what you need, but you're not going in there. That's it. We're set apart. Jesus was part of it, but not really. Not really. You may be inspired to be creative, and this is a particularly good card for poets and writers. And that's what it is. I was inspiring you guys. And I have been. You can see in my writing and my speaking, I am becoming more creative and poetic. But that's it too, as I'm trying to reach others. I did a whole teaching on how to write good music. That's where I came from. This is my goal. It's what I'm here to teach you. I had to teach you. It's not about that. I gave you what it takes. And now come closer and I'll help you work with that. We'll work together. You know what I mean? The High Priestess can mean a noble spiritual woman who enters your life. I'm here. Either as your friend or teacher, probably not your lover, who can show you the world of the mystical, erotic, and spiritual. She may, however, block you from moving forward too far and too fast, and this is part of her wisdom. To see too much at once would overwhelm you and invite in madness. And that's where I do, but at the same time, no, I get excited. Come here, check this out. Look what I just learned. Not knowing that it's for me and not you. And that's what I tried to tell you. You didn't know I could do that. That I can grab the energy. I can't teach you stuff like that. And what's another way of that? A turning fork. There's an instrument that does the same thing I can do with my hands. A turning fork can change energy. I do it in my hand. Come here, let me touch you. Reverse meaning. There is something that you are not seeing. The psychic insight you're receiving may be confusing or misinterpreted. You may be plagued by bad dreams or nightmares. Perhaps you're not listening to your intuition or ignoring something you know deep down to be true. That's it. You don't want to believe it. You have to. Stop lying to yourself. The world's lying to you. Don't lie to yourself. When you know the truth, you know the truth. Don't try to put a bag over your head, Kanye. You know the truth. You can't go back and act like the world is normal, like you're normal anymore. He tried. It may be, and that's it, if I just shut up and stop talking like I did and I just go back to who I was, then everybody will like me again. If I just go back to what I was, then everything will be okay again. It will never be okay again. We're going to make it better. It may be that you're too busy with everyday concerns to pay attention to your emotions and spirituality, or perhaps you have completely retreated from the world to spend all your time navel gazing and not paying attention to real life. It's my favorite thing. What are they talking about? You're just sitting there staring at your belly button, which in essence you put your phone on your stomach and you hold it and you're staring at your phone. Navel gazing. Let's do some stargazing here, guys. The reversed High Priestess can also mean that you've been busy gaining occult knowledge on a specific or on a superficial level without any comprehension of its true significance, possibly merely to impress others. She can indicate a charlatan. And that's what you're doing. You're trying to compete with me. You're trying to go get all this information and use it against me, but you're going to hurt yourself with this. Don't go pulling out the devil's Bible and try to use it against me when you don't know what lives in there and I was married to it. Don't pull out God's Bible to condemn me when I'm the reason you're condemned. And I'm here to save you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, dickhead. She can mean that you have failed to come to terms with yourself as a woman, or if you are a man, it can indicate that you are overly emotional and make yourself a doormat for others. Russ. But you look at it, that's what happened to fucking Marshall too. They all did. That's what's wrong with Lewis. What's wrong with all of you? You're overly emotional and you're making yourself a doormat for others. But go listen to my video today, guys. So was I. If I could just do what you wanted, you'd be nice to me. Was your mom yelling at you too? Was your dad yelling at you? Is that why we did this? I don't know why you did. I told you why I did, but we can't do this anymore. You can't be a doormat for other people's feelings. You have feelings, and in those feelings is God. God feels. You hear my stomach? It's feeling like it needs something. I'm going to stop there because that's the best place to stop. They're telling you to go inside to your intuition, and they're telling you why. This was a perfect teaching. It all led up to this. It always leads up to it. Why am I trying to get you in your feelings? So that we can clean them out and get you back to Christ. Back to the light, back to the heaven, back to God, whatever it takes. It's hard work. We got to go in there. It hurts. I don't know how to reprogram your dolphin mind. I don't know those ways. I only know this way. This is the way that I know. I got myself out of hell. I'm here to get you out. This is how I got out. I did it before. I can do it again. But again, we got to start from the beginning. Can't just be her. I got to become her again. But I had to start with me. I didn't know I was Lilith. When it came over me, it's in the video. It filled me with so much, I just was filled with so much pain and anger and rage, and I didn't know what was inside of me. I didn't even know who Lilith was. Morgan was the only one that stood at my altar from the beginning. I didn't know who she was. Why is she there? I never had Christ. I just had a picture of her on my altar. Why her? Because that was the last time I was alive. I was supposed to keep reminding myself. Have I gotten to that life? Nope. I'm still digging up old lives. Not even close. Every time I want to find out what happened in my last life, I get shut down. No, you can't. Go read the books if you want, but it's awoken in me. Those are just the stories. Those are just eyewitnesses of what happened. You hear how everybody told what happened when Christ was here. It's not the same. So, yeah, I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am a phoenix. Do you know the definition of a phoenix? To have a full lifetime, to set it into flames and be reborn from the ashes. Life, death, rebirth, resurrection, salvation, all of that. We stand for all of that. Where did that come from? From God. He stood for it too. A bunch of boy band groups and me. There wasn't many women. It was only me. I mean, there was, but they're not awakened, so it's just me, myself, and I. And a bunch of 12 lame-ass guys. I love you guys. And that's it. They never believed me. I knew what I saw. And they couldn't just give up. It just doesn't, they just haven't walked into it. They're trying. They just can't believe it. Maybe this will make it easier. Maybe it'll make it harder. You never know. I just keep doing what I'm doing. And so, to make it a successful night, I'm not successful until I tell you this. Leave that. That's no longer serving you guys. If it doesn't make you happy, get rid of it so God can give you something to make you happy. Give him power to be God, too. Go back and catch my video before this. Let him be God. Quit being God. Just serve God and his people and let him do the rest. It's a little bit easier. Hey, I love you. I'll catch you tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll talk on our Mercury. I don't know. We're ahead of schedule, so I don't know what tomorrow brings. That's what I was trying to figure out. What's tomorrow bring? Oh, hard work. We gotta work on our skills. There you go. That's what it brings. Hard work. Are you surprised? Anything good? Yeah, lots of emotions. Great. Just exactly what I didn't want. We're going to balance our emotions. Anything else, God? No. Great. We're going to fucking have to push our restrictions. 5 of Pentacles. Things are going to get tight. Yep, we're going to have to count our pennies. That's okay. How much you got? I got 5 on it. All my poor ass can keep. I got 5 on it. 5 Fucking with that endo weed. You got some weed? You want to smoke? Puff puff pass. It's a native thing, dude. You don't smoke? Oh, we're gonna get you high today. Just kidding. Laters haters.